It's spooky season, so you know what that means. It's time for more Monster Movie Madhouse. Let's get into it, shall we? Today, we're going to be talking about 1931's Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff, Colin Clive, Mae Clarke, and Edward Van Sloan. After the massive success of Dracula earlier in 1931, Carl Laemmle Jr. decided we have to make more monster movies. Just gotta do it. So obviously, the next choice was Frankenstein. They hired Robert Florey to direct the film. Florey wanted to emulate the films of the German Expressionist movement, so very much he was inspired by the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and the monster in this version was sort of written as a soulless killer with no pathos, no human quality at all. And then Robert Florey would be replaced by James Whale. Whale had come over from the United Kingdom and did a lot of work in theater. Well, his first order of business was to find a star for Frankenstein. So he was looking around, and in the commissary was this tall, nicely dressed man named Boris Karloff. Now, Karloff had actually been acting for 10 years up to that point, appearing in 80 movies before he was cast in Frankenstein. Now, there were a couple of interesting stories that came out from the production of this movie. The first one being that Mae Clarke was very scared of Boris Karloff in the makeup, and she didn't know how she was going to react when he appears in her bridal suite before the wedding in the film. So Karloff told her, when you turn around and see me, just look for my pinky finger, I'll wiggle it, and you'll know it's just old Boris all along. And I guess it got her through it. There's another scene in the film where the monster kills a child, and Karloff was very much against this scene. He wanted to maintain the innocence of the monster, and, saying that, the monster is not the villain here, he's the victim. And James Whale agreed with him 100%. Yes, the monster is the victim, but don't you see, Boris? This is part of the ritual. In order to complete the tragic arc, he has to do this. Now, when the movie came out, there were a lot of groups that had issues with the movie. You could imagine all the cadavers, close-ups of needles going into bodies, and flames being hurled around. Now it's pretty normal for us today, but back in 1931, that was pretty extreme. It goes without saying that Frankenstein was a monumental hit. It spurned a very long franchise of Frankenstein films, and it also made a bona fide star out of Boris Karloff, who would be a staple of horror movies for the next 30 years. So, I don't know why you haven't seen it yet, but if you haven't, definitely check out Frankenstein, and let me know what you think about it.